when they just told me I was deportable, the first images that came to mind were portable things. Portable radios, TVs, typewriters. Then I saw myself dangling as if by a handle from some official's officious arm. Then came incredulity. What was this foolishness? And what about inalienable rights? And finally, I don't believe this folly. But they were in deadly earnest. Whatever religion we represent, or even none, if we look into religious traditions, we always find these deportable, aberrant, disturbing individuals. Prophetic at times, but mainly individuals that have forced us to listen through shocking events and shocking actions. What is interesting is that very few of these figures have asked us to repeat these prophetic events. Their acts rather have urged us to stop, to pay attention, to pray, and above all, to listen. And in the case of Aaron, to listen to the suffering of the Palestinian people in Gaza and in other parts of the world, anywhere challenging unbridled militarism. Very often, we unfortunately hide behind the words of prayer for peace. None of us are against that. But the problem is, if you really want peace, you have to work for a sustainable, just solution to many of the problems in the world. Unbridled militarism does not help further that cause. And these were the words of the poet I began, my uncle Dennis Brutus, the South African who was imprisoned with Nelson Mandela, and who wrote his entire life on the importance of poetry and human rights. Together with Dorothy Day of the Catholic Worker Movement that I represent here before you this evening, they knew that bannings or immolation, imprisonment, can never silence truth. And individuals who take up the cause to listen and be disturbed in the face of suffering communicate something very powerful. I believe it's important for us. We are living at a time, not only in this country, but in so many religions, where to simply stop and listen is impossible. And to pay attention to those who are using aberrant or extreme measures to force us to listen, as Aaron did, is becoming almost impossible. And so I'd say to all of us this evening, value that still voice of poetry and of prayer and of reflection. Value any moment where people force you to be more human, in a moment that does not respect humanity. Value a moment where guns and ammunition are put aside and discourse and civil discourse becomes important. It's difficult to say whether we can use Aaron's action to compare to the early martyrs in our Christian tradition, and in my case, our Franciscan tradition. That's not the issue. The issue is that his action caused us to stop, to listen, and to be profoundly disturbed by the state that we find our world in which we can no longer communicate. I hope we leave this evening with a deeper desire to take the suffering of people all over the world and truly listen to any form of voice that points to civility and peace. Thank you.